Hi class, this is your instructor Megan, and in this video I just want to introduce the course and let you know what you can expect to do in iCom 212 this fall. So let me talk about my least favorite subject, myself. My name again is Megan McNames. You can just call me Megan in your emails and group meetings. I'm an instructor of journalism and digital media here at Ball State. I am housed in the journalism department, so my faculty pool is in journalism. But I teach primarily in the digital media minor, and my background is in design. And you'll hear me talk about this, and I'm sure you've heard other professors talk about this. This is a very well-known concept in the kind of design that I do. Design is really, there's two things that we're talking about when we talk about design. There's sort of two realms of design. There's micro design, or what we might call little d design, which is what you probably think of when you hear design, the word design. It's graphic design, it's video design, it's choosing colors, choosing typefaces, choosing wallpapers for a hotel. Anytime you have a specific project and you're trying to design just for that project, that's typically little d micro design. So if I have an app, wireframe, and I've been hired to make it look appealing, that's little d design. I'm picking colors, I'm picking typefaces, but I didn't invent the app. Big D design or macro design is the design of systems. It's taking ideas and new ways of doing things and implementing them. So big D design is what you have probably experienced in some of the other classes, and something that I hope you'll kind of experience in this class, where you're coming up with new ways of doing things. You're coming up with new ways of thinking about how we do things, how we design things. It's not just designing an iPad app, it's figuring out, you know, what comes next. How might we use an iPad app to teach? How might we use an iPad app to, you know, help people with disabilities? It's not just designing the iPad app. It's not just picking colors and putting things in the app. It's figuring out what it does, why it's useful, and how we can use it. So in this class, we'll talk about some of those things, but my background is in both big D design and little d design. So the design of systems, mobile apps, things like that. I did some cable TV games actually back in the day, which is interesting because that's totally not a thing anymore. And I also come from a little d design background, but I do have a writing and reporting background as well. So as you can see in my list of classes here, I teach a lot of digital media minor classes, interactivity design, digital storytelling, web design and usability, the intro course, but I also teach design classes elsewhere. I teach a PR class in designing publications, I teach intro to visual communication for journalism, and I teach a social media class for CCAM 280, and of course now imaging design as well. So let's just kind of talk about what's going to happen in this course. This course is designed to help you gain practical facility with digital content, and really what that means is by the end of the course you should understand how to take pictures and how they can communicate and how you can use them to communicate. And that's great, but that's little d design. That's, you know, having one project, take a photo essay, you go out and you take the photo essay. That's not big D design, asking, you know, what is the role of photo essays? How might we use photo essays to better society? So in this class, you are going to learn images. You're going to learn how to shoot images. You're going to learn how to edit images, and you have projects that will help you learn that. But you're also going to write a research paper in which you look at the role of images in society, or the role of perception in how people understand images. And that's going to help you understand a little bit more of the big D design, a little bit more of, you know, what do images really do? And how can we really use them effectively, not just once in one project, but overall in what we make. So you're going to learn imaging, but you're also going to learn about kind of the role of imaging, and you're also going to learn about perception. How do people see images? Why is it that I can look at an image and think it's crap, and you can look at an image and think it's beautiful? So we're going to look at that as well, and that's going to help us become better designers in both the big D sense and the little d sense. So the kinds of activities you can expect to undertake in this course include visual perception research, capturing images, editing images. You're going to work with both fictional and non-fictional images. So you have a project that's non-fictional, you're going to photograph real life, and you have a project that's fictional. You're going to create characters. You also are going to learn about images and social media. So let's look at the course components. The course has 895 points. You're going to earn them in the following manner. You have theory assignments, creative imaging projects, photo assignments, group meetings, research paper, and a final post-mortem paper in which you discuss your work in the class. So let's go through these one by one. The theory assignments. In other classes, you may have learning documents. In this class, we're going to try out theory assignments. So these are similar to the learning documents, except I'm just going to give you prompts. So I'm going to ask you questions about your readings, and you're going to answer them in an academic way. So you're going to use sources, you're going to compare and contrast the readings, but I'm going to give you the prompts. With the learning documents and the other courses, you have to kind of make the prompt yourself. You have to kind of figure out the topic yourself. I'm going to give them to you in the theory assignments. You also have photo assignments. So you're going to complete photo assignments that are going to test your ability to apply theories of human perception as well as technical skills. So when you learn about Gestalt theory, for example, you're going to photograph the laws of Gestalt. You're going to show that you can capture those laws in photos. And these will all be detailed in the week in which they're due. Group meetings. You're going to attend Google Hangout meetings. You should have these in just about all of your digital media minor courses now. You're going to sign up ahead of time. The groups are not standardized, so it's not like you and Sarah are always going to have to meet with each other. You just tell me a week ahead of time when you can meet, and I'm going to form groups based on availability. So I'm going to try my best to work around your schedule. Instead of telling you, you have to choose between, Wednesday at 7 and Thursday at 7, I'm going to ask you when you're available and give you lots of options for availability and then pair you up with other people who are available at that same time. You're going to create a research paper, so you're going to write a 5 to 8 page paper about a topic relating to images. Full instructions are available in the Blackboard site. I know you see this and you're probably like, great, a research paper, but there's a lot of interesting research about images, both about how people understand images and how people, the effect images have on people. So this week, you're reading a kind of dense summary of different theories of human perception and cognition, and you're going to go through that, and it's going to introduce like 8 different theories, and you're going to go, oh my gosh, there's so much. I'm giving you that this week because those are areas that you can research further for your research paper. So if you read that first reading and you see affectivity and you think, wow, that's an interesting concept, you can write a research paper on it. You can also you could also choose to do a research paper on the effect of images. So if you are really into feminism, you are really concerned about the role of feminism in society and the effect of society on feminism, you might take a look at representations of photos of women in the media and look at the research on that and get a sense of what the effect of those images really are on the people who are viewing them. So this week you're going to learn about bottom-up processing and top-down processing. You can sort of write your research paper about either. Bottom-up is when you see something and it forms a response in you. So that's about perception, how people react to what they see. You could write a research paper about ways of doing that, or interesting discoveries in that field. Or you could do top-down. That's when we have sort of preconceived notions. We're looking for patterns. We see something, and instead of seeing what's really there, it has baggage. So you could also write about that. But we'll work on that throughout the entire semester. So you have 16 weeks to write this paper. The tutorial assignments are actually the photo assignments. So you are going to look at 3 Photoshop tutorials in order to learn Photoshop, but they're wrapped up with the photo assignment. So you'll watch a tutorial, for example, on how to edit images, and then you'll edit some images. Okay, finally, you have some creative imaging projects. So you're going to learn theories in the first half of the class, and then you're going to start applying them. You're going to apply them to 3 projects: a photo essay, which will be non-fictional in nature, a character composite, which is going to be fictional in nature, a social imaging project. So you have 3 projects. Instructions for all of these will be detailed in the weeks in which they begin. And then last but not least, in lieu of an exam, you're going to write a detailed examination of your work in this course, and detailed instructions will be provided in the exam folder. So you have basically 3 projects. For your postmortem, you're going to say, okay, here's the 3 things I made. Here's how I used my understanding of perception to make them. just want to go over some housekeeping items. Everything you need for this class can be found on the Blackboard site. Requirements and deliverables are clearly outlined each week in the syllabus. Assignment uploaders do close at noon, the day the assignment is due, and that is a strict deadline. So if you turn something in at 12:05, Blackboard will mark it late and I will not look at it. So you need to turn things in on time. Now, the beauty of using Google Docs in this class, you're going to do all of your assignments in Google Docs, and this first week you're going to watch a video about how to do that. The beauty of doing that is it's all time-stamped. So if you get a 0 on an assignment and you are sure that you turned it in on Blackboard and there's something going on, contact me. I can go to your Google Doc and I can see whether you did it by the deadline or not. So assignment uploaders close at noon. After that, you're just SOL if I don't have it. But if something has gone wrong, contact me because we can work it out. I have ways of determining if you did the assignment on time. And if you did, I'll accept it. If you didn't, then I won't. So assignment uploaders close at noon. If you discover that something has gone horribly wrong, contact me and we'll sort it out. But there are no late assignments accepted. Contacting me, my office hours are virtual. I'm on Skype and GChat from 1 to 4, Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can also email me during that time and I'll email you right back. I am very available. I think students who've had me in the course before will probably tell you that. I live on the computer. This is what I do. I'm on the computer all the time. So if you see me on GChat, if you're signed into Gmail and you see my name under the chat list with the green dot, contact me. I'm guaranteed to be there during my virtual office hours, but 90% of the time, if that dot is green, I'm there. So even if it's 1 a.m. and it says that I'm online and you have a question, send a chat message. If I'm not there, I'll miss it, and you can just send it to me as an email. If I am there, we can just get your questions sorted out right away. So those are my office hours, but I'm also pretty available outside of that time. You also can go to doodle.com/McNames and set an appointment with me. I would always be happy to meet with you online. I am on campus occasionally, so I can meet with you on campus sometimes, usually Mondays and Fridays. But my job is to help you become proficient in digital imaging, so if you need help, if you need assistance, schedule a time, and I would be happy to help you. The only thing I ask with contacting me is that if you email me, please give me 24 hours for me to respond to your email. Most of the time I'll get your email within an hour or two, but I don't always have the ability to write an answer. I might be on my phone and I just can't write out a long answer, or I might need to go grab a resource from somewhere else before I email you, or I might just be, traveling to a conference or something. So give me 24 hours. I'll try my best to get in touch with you soon, but within 24 hours, you will have a response from me. If you don't hear from me after 24 hours, assume I didn't get your email. Don't assume I'm ignoring you. Assume that I didn't see it. Contact me again. I won't be bothered by it. I'll probably just feel really bad that I didn't see your first one. So give me 24 hours, but if you don't hear from me, something's gone wrong. Contact me again. The other reason I bring this up is your assignments are due Friday at noon, so if you send me a question Thursday night at 10 p.m., you might not get an answer by the time you need it. So just make sure you're looking at your assignments ahead of time and asking questions early. That's everything I wanted to talk about. Don't hesitate to contact me with any questions or concerns about this class. One more thing I do want to mention is you will need Photoshop for this class. You can get it for $20 a month through Adobe Creative Cloud. I suggest just getting the trial for right now. Just go get the trial of Photoshop, and when it runs up and it asks you for 20 bucks, just give them 20 bucks, and then a month later give them another 20 bucks. You should be able to have Photoshop for the entire length of the class for about $60 or less. So if you have any questions about Photoshop or you have issues, let me know. It doesn't matter what version of Photoshop you have. Unlike other Adobe products, you can go back and forth between the two, so don't care what version you have, as long as it's not like Photoshop 3 or something. Maybe at least CS would be great. But if you have questions about getting that software, please let me know. We're not going to be using it for the first few weeks, so you have a few weeks to get it sorted out. That's it. I look forward to working with you in this class. I'm very excited to see what kind of creative projects you come up with. I've tried to create projects that apply the theories but also are fun and allow you to express yourself. And I'm also excited about seeing what kind of research you're interested in. Please choose something that you really do care about. Don't pick something that you think I'm going to be impressed by. Pick something that you really want to know about. And I can always help you with that, but I'm excited to see what you care about and what kind of concerns you have about perception or images. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If not, I look forward to receiving your first assignments on Friday.